CBS News has learned the Mexico lettuce farm connected to the Cyclosporiasis outbreak has not been inspected by American regulators in 7 years. The FDA conducted just under 1,000 foreign food safety inspections in 2025. That is way below the standards set by Congress. Now, put that into perspective. There are about 47,000 foreign manufacturers sending food to the U.S. A CBS analysis found since 2023, the FDA has inspected less than 5% of them. The 2019 inspection of Taylor Farms in Mexico found no violations. I wanted to bring in Dr. Kniel, the chair of the microbial food safety at the University of Delaware, and she joins us live. Doctor, thank you so much for being with us. Can you walk us through this process? 7 years seems like a really long time when it comes to food safety.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for having me. And I understand that that is shocking to consumers. Prioritization really of FDA resources and state regulatory resources as well has always been a challenge. FDA field offices have to be able to handle inspections and appropriate testing as necessary in terms of recalls and outbreaks. And as you just mentioned, even during inspection, nothing problematic might be found. So really, the main goal of food safety is prevention and risk mitigation. Testing alone and inspections alone, just like audits, will not improve food safety or decrease contamination. It's really important, especially now as we're all talking about this more, that companies come together and recognize best practices for those comprehensive preventative food safety programs.
A lot of us are going to the grocery store, though, and thinking twice about the produce we're putting in our carts. How do we know if the produce is safe? It's not always clear where the fruits and veggies are coming from. And is there anything we could be doing at home to help prevent some of these issues?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think it's wonderful that now consumers think about what they're doing in their own homes specifically, be the best stewards for our own food safety. Please continue to buy fruits and vegetables. They are one of the most nutritious things that we can eat. We really, we don't want to avoid those, especially at this wonderful time of the year when we have so many fresh fruits and vegetables. Wash your fruits and vegetables. If you're buying a whole head of lettuce, pull off those outer leaves, discard them, and then wash the rest. If you're purchasing a bagged product, the best practice really still is recommended that you do not rewash those products because your sink may likely be more dirty compared to what's coming out of that bag. Now, when it comes to products with a peel, those are great to purchase, something that you can scrub and then remove that peel. If you're immunocompromised, on chemotherapy, right? If you're taking care of your older parents or grandparents, it's a great time to help them with these products. Maybe cook fruits and vegetables rather than consume them raw if you're really concerned. I think that there's so many different products that are out there for us, and most of them are really safe. We don't see a huge number of these outbreaks like we're seeing right now. And we have to trust that the companies that are providing these products to us that are in the marketplace are doing their due diligence. In most cases, this is true.
I'm curious, doctor, if folks who are really concerned out there, maybe they do have an immunocompromised person living in their home, is it safer to buy from, say, a farmer's market, a smaller farmer?
There is lower risk when you don't have a product that gets distributed to many places. That's really the key there, that's coming straight from the farm to you. It doesn't mean it's completely absent of potential for risk or contamination, but you definitely have a reduced risk there, and it's wonderful to support our local growers.
Okay, I want to pivot to another story we're following. Health officials are proposing new rules about new ingredients or additives when it comes to processed or prepackaged food. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. says parents should not need a chemistry degree to understand what their children are eating. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
First, we're overhauling the generally recognized as safe and the GRAS standards for that and the entire GRAS framework. We're proposing a rule that would end the practice of companies making GRAS determinations. Second, alongside my friend and colleague, Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins, we submitted for final review the federal government's first definition of ultra-processed foods. These two actions will change how the federal government oversees what's in our food and how we understand the foods that Americans eat.
So how will these changes impact what we're eating? And I'm curious, does the food that doesn't follow these rules that's maybe now on the shelves, will that immediately come off the shelves?
So it's going to be a timeline, certainly, and it's really going to affect companies, not necessarily consumers. But I hope that consumers recognize that these additives that are in foods have all had to meet a standard of reasonable certainty of no harm. And it's the dose that's really critical. And so then it comes to our choices as consumers and how much of something we might eat. The review that's going to be proposed here is going to look at a mandatory notification system for food additives. So we'll see some changes in ingredients, like we're starting to see with colors, for example. But it's going to be interesting to see how this rolls out and how food companies are able to deal with this and how quickly they're able to respond.
Dr. Kniel, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.